Hello, dear friends. Here we are at Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls. And we rejoice tonight as we are talking about the continuity of life. You and I know that everything that we do, that we feel, that we say is registered in our spiritual body. Everything, no exception. So, what happens when we reincarnate and we forget, right? You may be asking, and that's a fair question. Kardec also asked that very question. You can read more in the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec. And when we get especially through question 383, because he asks how we are going to know what to do if we forgot everything, right? But then the Spirit says, what would be the merit of knowing and the obstacles as well? And if you go to the Gospel according to Spiritism, you see there is a subsection, and forgive me for not pointing out precisely the section here, but talks about forgetfulness of the past. Today, that's what Emmanuel is going to tell us. In this book about hope and light, Emmanuel, through Chico Xavier, decided to compile this book about hope and light, including this message, memory regression. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Many people nowadays are curious about previous life, what has happened, to justify things or to get to know what is the reason why. Should we do it? Should we not do it? Many questions that are so important. And should we really pay attention to it? Should we get to know who our family members were? Should we get to know who our friends were, our colleagues, etc.? What would be the Spiritist take on it? You want to know? Me too. So this is why today we're dedicated to a message that has precisely 4 paragraphs by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. This message was psychographed in Minas Gerais through Chico Xavier in 1991, July 30th, 1991. Okay? Hello, Sol Souza. Hello, Sunshine. Welcome, friends. These are the people that I can see. If you want to say hi, I will be able to see, because our system doesn't allow us to see unless you write in the comments. If you're listening or watching this on demand, a big hug to you. You can also send your questions to Cardiac Radio at cardiacradio@gmail.com. You can go to our YouTube channel, Twitter channel, Instagram channel, Facebook channel. There are so many things. And you know that you can listen to Cardiac Radio in your Alexa Echo. Just say, Alexa, please play Cardiac Radio. Yeah, by TuneIn Radio, not by Pandora. And Spotify. Now you can listen to this at Spotify. There's so many channels. SoundCloud, where you can see the almost 4,000 podcasts and listen to several different hosts from different nationalities, but always speaking in English, different books, different studies, audiobooks. Fantastic. Ready? Memory Regression by Emmanuel. He says, if we have been brought to earth to forget our past, to value the present, and to prepare a better future for us, why triggering the regression of memory of what we were and did due to empty curiosity, or to seek out those who were our companions in order to return to the imbalances we are rescuing today. We're being rescued of today. Our very present existence will present us with tasks and trials, which in themselves are recapitulations of our past in our various lives, or even only in our last passage on earth, occurred in the physical world. It is a course of regeneration in which we are integrated in the so-called trials of each day. Why make the regression of memory only to mourn the memory of our unhappy episodes, or exhibit delusional greatness in situations which, by simple desire or frivolous resumption of events, we were protagonists? If we already know, especially with Allan Kardec, that we're gradually eliminating our natural imperfections or erasing the false brilliance of so many mishaps that will only induce us to mistakes we no longer wish to repeat. Let us be sincere and take a look at our tendencies. Hello, John Da Rosa and Rihanna. So, Emmanuel, in 4 paragraphs, summarizes it all. Let's go to the beginning, because he reveals, remember, when we study Spiritism, if you go to the book Genesis, at the very beginning of the book, there's a chapter that talks about the character of the Spiritist revelation. Revelation means when you take the veil off something. So Spiritism reveals things we didn't know. In this message, at the very first sentence, there is a revelation. Mark it down. Let us mark it down. Right, Carol Correa? If we have been brought to earth to 3 things, forget our past. So he already answers the question. Forget the past. Have you forgotten the past? Have I forgotten the past? I don't think so, right? That's number 1. I'm writing down so we can mark it down. 2, forget the past. Look, forget the past. To value the present. Woo. This was 1991, way before the Western civilization embraced in the mainstream the term mindfulness. To value the present. Today is more important than yesterday, and we see many people going through depression. Why? Because they're attached to the past. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. The past is in the past. Please, mamma mia. When we see mediumistic meetings, obsessors stuck, it's so sad. But when we're stuck, it's sad. Let it go. Let it go. And I love when Wayne Dyer used to say, let go to let God. Let go to let God. Let go to let God. There's a beautiful series of studies by Wayne Dyer. He discarnated a year before Louise Hay. They were great friends, and he had a beautiful video series in a book named Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, based on the Tao Te Ching. Okay? For us, Lao Tzu was a missionary sent by Jesus before Jesus came to prepare the grounds, and the Tao has universal truths as well. So read the book as well. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Lives by Wayne Dyer, or watch the video series because he summarizes it all. Okay? So let me share with you here. So they saying, thank God we can't remember our past. I agree with you. And our dear sunshine is saying, Paul and Stephen, Abigail's recommendation to Paul: love everything, work as hard as you can, hope in the future, forget and forgive the incomprehension of others. Thank you so much for this deep reminder. And Jonas, Jonas Pelicione saying, abraços, hello, thank you for being here with us. So, Carol Correa is summarizing here, as Emmanuel is saying, forget the past, that's why we reincarnate. To value the present, and to prepare a better future for us. Now, this is big. This is where hope comes in. Huh? This is where hope comes in. Hope. Because many people are here thinking, oh, this must be karma. I think this is not happening because it must be karma. What I did in the past, what happened yesterday, my childhood, excuse me, huh? Focus on the present. Focus preparing for the future. Minding the present. We need to tell our children, focus. The past is the past. But what happened last year? Oh, because of that. Let's be detached, shall we? And we should teach ourselves as well, right? It is a training like that. It's like nowadays on earth, this sugar coating doesn't get anywhere. We need to be disciplined. Friends, when you read the history of Jesus, Chico, Xavier, you see that the greatest missionaries, especially our Master Jesus, they didn't have an easy life. Of course, he didn't need it to be who he was, but in Chico Xavier's case, he said himself, he needed all those restrictions and constrictions to make sure he would stay on track, okay? And in spite of being prepared, read the book Messengers, we can still go off track. So we need to focus, and not get distracted. Even Jesus says in the book, Jesus in the Home, the story of the man who had a work, a certain job. He quit it because people were so harsh and disciplining him. He went to several different workshops and he discarnated, didn't get anywhere. And the angel said, you're not going to get wings if you don't discipline yourself. And Jesus says, great results will be achieved for those who have strong teachers who are disciplinarians. So if you want to be a good mother, father, educator, and even to yourself, discipline. And what is discipline? Discipline is about the creation of habits, and it requires effort, repetition. That's discipline. When André Luiz says in the book Evolutioning Towards, effort, repetition. People say, I'm not good at discipline because you're taking the easy route, comfort. I don't want to wake up at a certain hour. I want to wake up when I want to wake up. I want to eat what I want to eat. I want to do what I want to do. That's not discipline. Discipline is like you make an effort and you repeat it. Make an effort, repeat it. Make an effort, repeat it. That's how we can prepare ourselves for a better future. Because if we keep ourselves in the same mode, we won't move forward. Deepak Chopra has several books. In one of them, I think is in the 10 Laws of Success, something of the nature. He talks about the law of uncertainty. And he says, it's so important to recognize when we are in a new territory of learning because it feels uncomfortable. It feels like we don't know it. And that's a blessing. We should just trust that behind that uncertainty, there's something good. So the new year's coming and many people are aiming at the same mold. A car that I know, a house that I know. You may not have it, but you know, at least in your mind. Well, how about things we don't know yet? Like being more patient because we don't know yet. And some people are afraid. Like, I don't want to ask for patience because then God is going to send me a lot of people to test on my patience. And you think God is sadistic? No. God is going to help educate you with love. He's not sadistic saying, oh, you want to improve your self-love. Okay, I'm going to send you a lot of crazy people to train your patience. God is not sadistic. If even a coach in the physical realm is not like this, imagine God. So aim higher. We should aim higher, preparing ourselves for a better future. In 2020, what do we want? The fulfillment of old dreams? Which dreams? Dreams that pertain to one life or to immortality? Do we want to set millennial goals? Or do we want to set one lifetime goals? It's up to us. So he says, to forget the past, to value the present, and to prepare for a better future. That's why we reincarnate. So why do we want to know about previous lives? Some people, out of curiosity, exit out. No. Why? Curiosity doesn't lead us anywhere. 2, to seek the companions and go back to the same old habits. Oh, and there is a case in the book, The Messengers, that talk about a man who had the ability to know about previous lives. He destroyed his reincarnation because he recalled and kept telling people without a purpose. And people felt ashamed, unhappy, etc. Or some went back to the same old habits. And then he says something so interesting. He's going to tell us that in this present experience, the existence, there will be tasks and trials that will be natural recapitulations of the past or of our very last passage on earth. He says it's a course of regeneration in which we are integrated in the so-called trials of each day. Remember, we're moving to regeneration, but we need to go through tests, trials, expiations. How else are we going to have new responses? This is what regeneration is to generate a new response about the same stimulus. So if every time I saw a pencil, I would scream, ah, previous life. This life is about looking at the pencil and saying, no, this pencil, I'm not going to scream because of the pencil. This pencil is no longer an object of harm that hurts me. This pencil is for me to use for the good. I'm not going to use to poke people, and I'm not going to allow to be poked. A silly example, but it's important for us to keep in mind. It's about reframing, giving a new meaning to old stimuli. So a son comes today, or a daughter, husband, wife, father, mother, sister, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle, colleague at work, neighbor, friend at the Spirit Center. We meet again, and it's like the pencil. Ah! In this life, God is saying, no screaming, because this is your child, or this is your father, or this is your mother, or this is your sister, or this is your brother, or this is your uncle, or this is your cousin. You can't do this. I'm asking you to see this person with your heart. Amalia Domingo Soler, in her book Reincarnation in Life, talks about several cases in which we either succeed or fail. So here he's saying, in each and every day, we will recognize in the tasks we're doing or in the tests, trials, tests, right? And activities, tasks, we can recognize. So sometimes today, we're playing the piano. Okay, in a previous life, I may have played, but you bet that very likely I didn't use it right. Now I'm being asked to use it for a greater purpose, to help people find God, sublimate their instinctive tendencies. Aha, we're coming close to the ultimate solution to memory regression. So Emmanuel says, why make the regression to mourn unhappy episodes? Because for sure we were worse yesterday than we are today. So why remember? Not everything was worse, but many things didn't go right. We're better today than we were yesterday. So we don't want to remember. If you do, we need to deal with it. We are only capable of remembering. It's maybe a test or a reminder saying, don't go there again. Some people say, I know I committed suicide in a previous life. Okay, write it down and say, I love life. Don't say, I'm not going to commit suicide, because the no doesn't exist. The brain doesn't understand no. It's the action. So say, I love life. I love life. I love life because I love God. I love life because I love God. Right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Regarding patience, it's important for us to know. And anything, any virtue. Emmanuel says, if sometimes we want to know just to make us feel delusionally great. Many people think they were very important. They had power, they had beauty, they had this, that, and the other. They messed up, but they are proud of it. That's sick. That shows how sick we still are, because we're proud of illusions, and it's making us still delusional in that fantasy. It's so ugly, we don't want to say. We don't want to think. We don't want to contemplate. We want to turn the page and forget it. Who am I? I am a child of God. You may say, but Vanessa, that's so hard. I am a child of God, right? Nora Brazil. I am a child of God. I reincarnated to learn to look good, and I love life because I love God. And Rihanna is reminding Louise, hey, I love life, life loves me. And today, Rihanna, Mentor Joseph was telling me, today, Louise Hay, fully aware of so many things, she says, she wished she could have said more about God. Next reincarnation. Because everything is God. It's impossible to love ourselves without loving God first. Loving life for life itself, unless life comes from God, makes sense to us. It doesn't make sense to love ourselves if there is nothing else. We are not creators, we're co-creators. So there is a glitch there that she wished she could fix. But Mentor Joseph is saying, let us share this news, that she wants us to make sure that we can only love ourselves if we love God first. No wonder Jesus, the Master, said, love God above all things, including ourselves. Then love others as ourselves. God, us, naturally, it flows in the horizontal, right? So here he says to us, frivolous resumption of events that we were protagonists. And we already know that gradually we're eliminating those imperfections. So why look at them? It's as if you go to the gym, memory regression, Mentor Joseph is saying, it's as if we go to the gym and instead of working out, we're looking at the flaws, the imperfections. One, you don't work new muscles. Two, it's very depressing. Or it's like you go to the gym, you're older, you look at yourself, say, oh, I used to be so fit when I were younger. And then the teacher is saying, uh, can we focus on the present and work on these muscles now? Because you can still work on them. Because contemplating things that don't exist or past is not going to lead us to a better future. That's where hope comes in. So why focus on the things that we're eliminating instead of focusing on the things we need to gain? Right? Right? So for us, he says, what's the solution? Let us be sincere and take a look at our tendencies. Okay. Is he giving us hope? Yes. He's not prohibiting anything. Is he prohibiting? No. Spiritism doesn't prohibit. If you have done memory regression, if you want to do it, be responsible. Take care of yourself and do it with somebody who is really, 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 really responsible, caring, and knowledgeable, competent, which cannot be found in every corner. Can't be cheap either. I'm not going to say it should be expensive, but if you do things because it's cheap, you're risking your whole life, your sanity. I'm not going to say you should pay for it. The best thing is don't pay anything. Just do what Emmanuel is saying. Let's be sincere, meaning look at the mirror and see what? Your tendencies. So please open. And I have the Spirit's book here in my phone. The Spirit's book by Kardec. It's question and answer 393. In the commentary by our dear Kardec, he says, if during our corporeal life we do not have a precise memory of what we were and of what good or bad things we did in our previous lifetimes, we nevertheless have an intuition of them. And if you say, oh, I don't, that's a sign that you don't know yourself. So we need to get to know ourselves. How do we get to know ourselves? Be your own scientist. Observe. Science relies on observation of facts. So if you need, journal it, log it, focus, and observe. Every time that person approaches, I feel this way. Monday, Tuesday, my boss approached me and I felt strange. Tuesday, and then a year. Oh, my boss and I have something here. Something's not right. Or a child and the parent and the child, siblings, spouses. And then what do we do with it? The Christ consciousness? Observe. Oh, we must be friends. Or, you know what? I think in a previous life we hurt each other somewhat. And it's like bittersweet. We like each other, and at the same time, it may feel like we dislike each other. So we need to fix, recover our trust, pray for one another, believe in the good of each other. But when we work on these tendencies to respond and to feel in such a way with people, things, scenarios, situations, we can address them much more easily without going through the remembrance of it all. If God made us forget, it's for a good purpose. It's God's mercy. According to the gospel, according to Spiritism, there's a subtitle, Forgetfulness of the Past. It's God's mercy and love to allow us to forget. But we have intuition. So much so that many of us feel guilty without knowing why. That's the intuition that we have done something that is off mark. So be sincere and take a look at our tendencies. And you may be asking, what do we do next? Go back to first paragraph. What do I do when I observe my tendencies? Remember, we have been brought to earth to forget, so forget the past, value the present, meaning if this is my child and we were not friends, now it's on me as a parent to make this turn into a friendship, into a good relationship. And prepare for a better future. Because if I look at this child and I keep saying, like a parent I've met, he looked at me, his 3-year-old son was walking around and he said, you know, that dude over there? He said like that. I know that him and I, we have our differences from previous lives. I don't think this is going to work in this life. So the father already quitted after the 30 year of this child. He doesn't want to invest on the good. He prefers to stay in the dual. He forgets that today he is sowing for tomorrow. And some people are so blind that they say, in this life, we're not going to be friends. And you think in a future life, it's going to be easier? Yeah, you're going to be reborn in the same womb, being twins sharing the same space, or co-joint twins. And you have to be stuck with each other. What do we prefer? As Jesus said, do you want me to come with love or with a whip? It's in the book Our Daily Bread, quotation from Jesus. It's from Jesus, this statement. Do we want to go with love or with a whip? It's up to us. The conversation is very serious, right? Yes. Thank you, Carol, for helping us. So it's on us to forget the past, value the present, and prepare for a better future. That's where hope comes in. There's always a solution. And Emmanuel is a master when he comes to us and says, let us observe, be sincere, and observe our tendencies and focus on the good. After all, we're all children of God. Let's repeat it to ourselves. We're all children of God. We're all precious for God. We need to focus on that and invest on love. Shall we, friends? Are you feeling hopeful? Yes? Relieved? I hope so. Me too. So this is it for today here at Hope and Light. Through Emmanuel today, Chico Xavier helped bring this hopeful message that clarifies so many things. In the next 24 hours, let us just repeat to ourselves. As we study ourselves, let us repeat. Let us repeat the very sentence, I love life because God loves me. I love life because God loves me and I love God. Okay? Thank you, friends. Until tomorrow here at Kardec Radio, nourishing our souls always. Thank you, friends.